I never thought I would end up working as a national park ranger. It was never my dream job, but it was something that I stumbled upon out of necessity. After graduating college with a degree in universal science, I struggled to find a job in my field. Desperate for anything, I applied to be a ranger at a local national park. Little did I know, this decision would change my life forever. The park I worked at was known for its beautiful scenery and vast, untouched wilderness. It was a popular destination for hikers, campers, and nature enthusiasts. My job as a ranger was simple: ensure the safety and well-being of the park visitors, enforce park rules and regulations, and take care of any maintenance issues around the park. I was excited to be surrounded by nature all day and to have the opportunity to educate visitors about the importance of preserving our natural resources. However, my excitement quickly turned to fear as I began to notice strange occurrences happening around the park. It started with small things: reports of unexplained noises in the woods, missing hikers, and strange animal behavior. As a logical person, I brushed it off as wild animals or visitors simply getting lost. But as the incidents increased in frequency and severity, I couldn't ignore the feeling of unease settling in the pit in my stomach. One night, I was on patrol near the campground when I heard a blood-curdling scream coming from the nearby woods. I immediately turned on my flashlight and cautiously made my way towards the direction of the scream. As I got closer, I noticed that the trees seemed to be closing in on me, creating a sense of claustrophobia and making it difficult to navigate through the thick foliage. The only thing guiding me was the sound of the screams, which seemed to be getting louder and more desperate. Finally, I reached a clearing, and what I saw made my heart drop in terror. There, lying on the ground, was a woman, covered in scratches and cuts with the look of pure terror of her face. Before I could even react, she just let out another scream and then just suddenly disappeared into the thin air. I was frozen in shock and disbelief, unable to comprehend what just happened. I quickly radioed for backup and searched the area, but there was no trace of the woman. I couldn't explain what I had witnessed, and it filled me with an overwhelming sense of dread. The next day, I reported the incident to my supervisor. To my surprise, he didn't seem shocked by my story. In fact, he seemed all too familiar with it. He told me that the park had a dark history that many people were unaware of. He had heard countless stories of visitors disappearing, only to reappear days or weeks later with no recollection of what just happened to them. There were even rumors of mythical creature that lurked in the woods, preying on unsuspecting park visitors. I was skeptical at first, but as more and more strange incidents occurred, I couldn't deny there was something sinister at play in this park. My once idyllic job had turned into a living nightmare. I was constantly on edge, afraid of what might happen next. It seemed like every time I went out on patrol, the woods were playing tricks on me. I would hear voices whispering my name and see shadows darting between the trees. I even started to see the ghostly figure of a woman I had encountered on my first night. She would appear and disappear, always with a look of terror on her face. But the most terrifying experience happened one night when I was alone in the ranger station. I was about to leave for my evening patrol when I heard a knock on the door. I cautiously approached, thinking it might just be a lost hiker. But when I opened the door, there was no one there. I shrugged it off as the wind and went about my business. However, throughout the night, I continued to hear strange noises and footsteps in the building. And whenever I checked, there was no one there. It wasn't until I was locking up for the night that I noticed something that made my blood run cold. The words "Get out" were written in blood on the window of the ranger station. That was the last straw for me. I couldn't take it anymore. I packed up my things and left the park, never looking back. But even now, years later, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something is still lurking in that park, waiting for its next victim. Every time I hear about a missing person in that area, I couldn't help but wonder if they too fell victim to the horrors of the park. As much as I tried to suppress those memories, the nightmares always come back. I often dream of being lost in the dark, winding trails of the park with something sinister and unseen following me. And in my dreams, I always see the same woman reaching out to me, pleading for me to help her. But in these nightmares, I can never escape. I have never returned to the park, and I never will. The horrors I experienced as a ranger have left a lasting impression on me. I have since quit my job and moved away. But I will never forget that fear that consumed me during my time at the park. I can only hope that others who visit will be more cautious than I was and steer clear of the dark, dangerous secrets that lurk within the woods.